The Center for Disease Control reports nearly 40,000 people died in 2017 from firearm-related injuries in the United States. The discussion of gun violence usually increases after a mass shooting, but those incidents only make up about 1% of firearm-related deaths. 60% are suicides, 35% are homicides, and 1 to 2% are accidental shootings. Temple Beth Shalom Tzedek organized a gun violence prevention panel on November 18th. Representatives from the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, the Mass General Center for Gun Violence Prevention, March for Our Lives, and the Massachusetts Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence spoke about their efforts to reduce gun violence.
The first step to really creating change is about changing the culture. And we change culture by having these conversations, by exposing ourselves to experiences that we otherwise would not ever hear of or know of or think to exist in this world. And this is what this event is, bringing these people together to hear so many different experiences from a young person, from someone from the medical community, from someone from an organization that's been doing this work for over 25 years, and things like that. It's just about starting those conversations and getting people to really start questioning, is this really normal, and is this something that we want to be normalized, and what can I do to make a change about this issue?
It needs to be a holistic approach to gun violence, not just in certain areas. So I believe coming to an event like this will actually help our community and your community connect, and we can maybe put some of this to end.
Gun violence is very complex. There are many different forms of gun violence, and because it's a complex issue, it requires complex responses.
I think that all of us come to this with a very personal story. For me, it's taking care of the dead kids. And there's no reason for that to continue. If we can impact smoking and change the culture of how we identify risky behavior with driving and teens, we can certainly do something to impact gun violence.
As we think about what we're hearing in the news and all of the mass shootings, I think also remembering that there are communities that experience gun violence every single day, and we don't necessarily hear about those in the news as much. So what we're hearing is absolutely traumatic, and we need to respond to that, but we also need to hold in our brains, in our hearts, in our souls that this is happening in communities where they're not getting as much attention, and that's something that I think our work as a coalition is to really shine a light on.
Last year in 2018, 48 people were killed in the city of Boston. All of them were people of color. Most of them, almost all of them, were young men of color. And that is the story of gun violence in Boston. And the sad news is there's not a lot of people reporting on those deaths, and they go unnoticed and unheard, and I don't think that's okay. And I think 48 people is too much to die. I think one person is too much to die from gun violence.
I hope the people that show up tonight will walk away understanding that it's more than changing laws, but it's also about, being proactive and not reactive, and working together, because at some point violence connects and touches everyone. Has no face, no race, no shape, no size. It just will reach out to whoever it can.